Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Annette and today I want to take you through a side of Chicago that deserves real attention. A lot of people visit Chicago for the skyline and the food, the shopping, and the big attractions downtown. And yes, those things are great, but this trip reminded me that Chicago is so much more than that. There is history here, there is legacy here, there is culture here, there is power here. And some of the most meaningful places are the ones that tell a deeper story. This was not just a sightseeing trip for me and my family, it was a chance to experience places connected to Black history, leadership, community, and influence. And honestly, that made the visit feel different. It felt more grounded, more meaningful, more real. One of the things that stood out to me most was visiting places connected to major Black leaders. When you think about Barack Obama, Jesse Jackson, and Louis Farrakhan, you're talking about people who shaped conversations in this country in very different ways. So being able to see locations connected to their lives and their presence in Chicago gave me a deeper appreciation for how important this city really is. Seeing the area connected to Barack Obama hit differently for me because it reminds you that before the presidency, before the international recognition, before all the history-making moments, there was community. There was a neighborhood, there was a city, and I think that matters. I know that matters because leaders do not come from nowhere. They come from real places. They come from lived experiences. They come from communities that help shape who they become. And Chicago is a part of that history. The same is true when you think about the PUSH headquarters. That stop really made me think about activism, civil rights, and the work it takes to push for change. And then there's the Southside. For me, the Southside was not just a stop. It was a part of the message. It carries so much history, so much pride, so much culture, and so much significance. Too often, people reduce neighborhoods to narrow narratives, but when you're actually there, you can feel that there's more to the story. The South Side has helped shape leaders, artists, King Von, ideas, and movements, and that deserves to be recognized. Another powerful stop was the DuSable Black History Museum. That is one of the places that helps connect the dots. It gives you context, it gives you space to reflect, and it reminds you that Black history is not a side story. It is central to the American story. Places like that matter because they preserve stories that need to be remembered, shared, and taught. And they help you understand that history is not just about the past, it is also about the present. I also want to mention the Obama Presidential Center that opens in June of 2026. Even beyond the building itself, what it represents is important. It speaks to legacy, it speaks to investment, and it speaks to leadership. It also speaks to community. The fact that it's rooted in Chicago matters because it shows that history can continue to live forward in the same place where so much of that journey began. And then on a completely different note, we also did the architectural boat tour on St. Patrick's Day where they dyed the river green. That gave us another perspective on the city. Being out on the water, seeing the buildings up close, hearing the history behind the architecture, and taking in the skyline from that view was such a beautiful experience. It reminded me that Chicago is layered in more ways than one. There's history in the neighborhoods, there is legacy in the institutions, and there is artistry in the way the city was built. We also visited Chicago 360, and that gave us a whole different view on the city, literally. The views were beautiful. Even when we did Chicago Tilt, you could see the skyline, the water, the architecture, and just how stunning Chicago really is. And yes, that part was exciting. But what stood out to me most was the contrast. On one side, you have the polished postcard version of Chicago, and on the other side, you have the neighborhoods, the institutions like the colleges and universities, and cultural landmarks that carry the soul of the city. To me, both matter. You leave with perspective. That is what this trip gave me. It reminded me that Chicago was more than downtown. So if you're planning a trip to Chicago, I would encourage you to make room for places like these. Make room for the stops that reflect Black history. Make room for the places that reflect leadership, culture, and community impact, because those are the places that stay with you. Those are the places that give a trip meaning. I walked away from this experience with a real sense of gratitude. This was not just about visiting places for me. It was about connecting to legacy. So I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe as we continue on our journey. And let me know in the comments what city you think has a powerful Black history that more people should experience. I'll see you in the next video.
You probably got a good. Actually, let's go back.
He clearly rejected the international style. His philosophy was there are no right angles in nature, so there shouldn't be any right angles in architecture. A lot of people are very curious as to how these buildings are constructed. Think of a flower. The elevator is the stem, and each condo is a pie-shaped petal. And here we are pie-shaped. Now it's part of where you enter the unit. The widest part is the balcony. One piece of pie is a studio. I'm getting a sense of how this line could go over here, but just calm down. One piece of pie is a studio. 1.5 pieces of pie is a 1-bedroom. 2 pieces of pie is a 2-bedroom. Pie-shaped condos make for very interesting interior design choices. This was in 1967. In the 60s, people were moving from the city to the suburbs. So they had an idea for a city within a city. When Marina City Towers first opened, it had a movie theater, a bowling alley, a grocery store, a dry cleaner, a marina, a couple of restaurants, and a skating rink. They unfortunately had to close the skating rink a few years ago when someone accidentally skated over the edge. I'm kidding, that didn't really happen. There really was a skating rink, I just don't know why it closed. But now I have a sense of who's paying attention and how dark I can go with my humor. It works for me. On the other side of the bridge is the Reed Murdoch Center, completed in the early 1900s. The original architect was George Nimmons. Nimmons is known for